you so much for joining us here for the Metaverse launch. We're just so excited to share this opportunity with all of you. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to break down kind of how we got here and a little bit about the beginning, like the first things that you're going to see in the Optical Metaverse, and more importantly, how you yourself can get involved. So we're going to start. Let me share my screen here. And so the Optical Metaverse, Tom affectionately, it really started because for those of you who know the My Vision Show story, we started to find ways for new brands to really connect with our audiences. And then we found that channel that we created was not only needed to introduce new products to the market and to really create opportunities for emerging ideas and brands and businesses to connect to primarily the independent eye care professionals who needed them. These are owner-operated businesses who spend so much time really addressing the needs of their patients and their business and everything else that they do, that they find very little time to really dig into everything that's going on around them, emerging technologies, new ideas, new business principles. So My Vision Show was originally founded to just make that part of managing your business easy and accessible. But what we learned is there's different areas of our experience in My Vision Show that all of you really loved and really embraced. We found the biggest, most well-adopted feature of My Vision Show is the sessions area, and you all have been here. You're here right now, and this is a really easy way for you to consume content. Some of you even listen through live streaming on Facebook. But when it came to really ensuring that you were connecting with these great brands that we were bringing to the table, we just found that the existing exhibit experience that we have, it just had room for improvement. So we began building a 3D convention center. And right around that time, a company that you all know, Facebook, they announced that they were changing their name to Meta. And the word Metaverse was the first time that we kind of discovered this as a team. We did some research and we said, okay, well, we're already building a 3D city. It has a lot of components of the Metaverse. Let's just turn this into a full-scale optical metaverse. And let's add components to this that really represent some of the places that we love, that people are very familiar with. We believe, and we still do, that if you're from this industry, you're going to be fairly new to the metaverse, and you're not going to be alone. Most people in the world are still trying to find a way to get into the metaverse and get comfortable with it. But in our industry, a lot of us that are running our businesses that are really established are more in that baby boomer, Gen X, and some millennial category. And all three of those categories are going to need a lot of help learning how to embrace this sort of technology. Now, what you're going to see today is a demonstration of our initial drop, which is a platform which will have an interactive environment where you will be able to create an avatar, explore our city, and explore the convention center. And we're going to show you a little bit about that. And in the beginning, your abilities to transact are going to be very similar to what you would expect in a Web 2 experience. You'll be able to go to shopping carts and book forms and come back to AirMeet if you want, which are all very much Web 2 based experiences. You may have heard the term Web 3. And as Web 3 begins to really emerge and becomes more accessible, we're going to be integrating it into our Optical Metaverse and Omniverse community, which is going to happen a little later this year. And we're going to ease you guys into this gently, we promise you. We're not going to, completely throw everything at once at you. That's why we're building a roadmap that's going to allow you to visualize all these steps along the way, determine which of these are most relevant to you in your business, and embrace them as it works for you. It is our commitment and our pledge to you to make sure that everything we do is community first. It's really important because a lot of these technologies that are emerging, they're not really paying attention to the importance of making sure that if you create a virtual platform where everybody's kind of isolated and streaming in from their homes or wherever they are, we have to make sure that when they do come together, they're still developing meaningful relationships. For those of you who spent any time here at my vision show during this weekend or previously, you know that although this was virtual, you developed meaningful relationships, and we will continue to stay true to that commitment as we continue to evolve the optical metaverse. Now, the optical metaverse is a section of the Omniverse, which will be designed exclusively for the optical and eye care industry. And as we develop more and more of an audience among the healthcare sector that is more related to optometry, we will begin to build an optometry metaverse. And these will be two of many metaverses that will exist within the Omniverse. So if the optical metaverse is a sublet, the Omniverse is the whole community. And we're going to invite other verticals into this space, which means if you really have a great product that's conducive to the sports industry or the music industry or the entertainment industry, and these are things that you've always really wanted to embrace, but you didn't really know how, this is going to become very easy for you because we're going to be inviting these industries to come in and participate in our Omniverse and create collaborations with our optical metaverse. And if you're somebody who is thinking, okay, well, you're going to have a convention center and you're going to see the demo later and you're going to see some of the different areas that we'll be designing, which will be beyond this convention center, which is a B2B experience, you're going to see immediately the applications and use cases for direct-to-consumer transactions. And there will be retailers, maybe among you, and there will be optometrists and practices that want to develop something that allows them to address the needs of their community. And it's going to be hard for you to really wrap your head around. You might be attracted to this idea, but it might be difficult for you to really find a starting point. So we've come up with a MADE principle. A lot of you came to our presentation with me and Dr. Eveleth a little earlier in the week. You might have heard, or actually it was the interview I did with her, you might have heard us talking about MADE, M-A-D-E. The M stands for models. So in the metaverse, you're going to build something that looks like something in real life, which they call a digital twin. That's a model. Pretty easy to build because you have a picture of it, you kind of know how it works, you just want to make it more accessible virtually. So the majority of the optical metaverse is a model. You have attractions. This is where you can use NFTs and VR and AR and all virtual try-ons, all sorts of really cool tools blended with your imagination and centered around building a really good customer experience. Because at the end of the day, all of this is designed to facilitate a better customer journey. Maybe you want to look at an attraction. An example of this is, some of you might have heard about the Ariana Grande concert in Fortnite. This was very unreal. It was very cool. It wasn't totally modeled after something in real life. It had a lot of unreal elements to it. So if you're thinking, if I'm going to do a metaverse, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do something really crazy, you're going to want to build an attraction. Now, the moment you get your hands on the metaverse and you start playing with it, whether it's something that somebody else built or maybe something that you built as a starting point, your brain is going to explode. You're going to say, wait a second, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And the answer is always yes. In the metaverse, the answer is always yes. But the question is how and really why? Why do you want to build this? Who is it going to serve? How is it going to make their life more enjoyable, more meaningful, whatever that might be. In some of these cases, you're going to want to go much deeper than a single model or a single attraction, and you're going to kind of want to build a destination. And it could be modeled after something in real life, or it could be something completely right out of your imagination. So you're going to have those opportunities. The convention center of the Optical Metaverse is an example. Our atriums and the area around it, which you'll see in a moment, that's an example of a destination. We imagined it, we dreamed it, and we built it. It was that simple-ish. And then we come to the E, which is experiences. Now, I don't know if any of you have been following some of the crazy, bizarre things that are happening with VR and AR. But I'll tell you something really cool I saw the other day, and it blew my mind. And that's saying a lot because I'm immersing myself in this space, and it's still blowing my mind what technology can do. It was a aquarium who is toying around with the idea of creating AR whale sharks. So even though you're in a real aquarium and you can go into a real area and see real fish and aquatic mammals, you could be walking through the park and have a whale shark floating overhead. Now, in the past, the only way to have done this is by looking on your cell phone and seeing some sort of AR thing that isn't really there, but you see it through your phone, or maybe wearing some eyewear that projects this item in AR. You know, a lot of these brands are starting to develop these glasses, but there are even now billboards and all sorts of new holographic ways to make things appear, even though they're not really there. So it's really a whole new world. If you start Googling some of this stuff, you're just going to spend a lot of time getting blown away because all of these things are beautiful and they're all exciting. And they're just going to give you new opportunities to do something that in business we hear all the time. And it's really about telling your story. You all have a great story, whether you're an individual or you're a business or you're a brand. And what's really great about the metaverse, because the metaverse gets a lot of slack, it's new and it's virtual and all of this, but we really have stopped immersing ourselves in true content. We see things at a surface level, and because a lot of things require a lot of reading and a lot of research to get into digitally, virtual is going to bring back some of that immersive experience that we're missing by not seeing these things in real life. So if you're thinking about this, even if you don't decide to do it today or in the next 6 months or a year, it's totally okay. Just ask yourself, what is my story? And how could I tell it in a way that would be exciting and engaging and new? We will be bringing NFT and we will be bringing Web3 to market throughout our roadmap. And again, when we drop the Optical Metaverse, which will strictly be our convention center and which is going to happen sometime in July, we will be providing you an opportunity to experience the Optical Metaverse as an avatar. But after we start, you will see that we will begin revealing NFT projects, avatars, Web3, all these new things, and we will ease you in gently to this. We'll give you an opportunity if you want to jump ahead of where we are on the roadmap and you say, nope, I don't want to wait. I want to do this now. We will be able to facilitate that and help you wherever you start. We're going to develop an open source community, and the Optical Metaverse will be integrated with AirMe. And you'll have a sign-in screen, and then you'll come in and you'll enter into, now you will have an avatar, so you won't be moving so quickly, but this was designed just to kind of show you what it looks like to kind of fly through the platform. Inside of the area where you see the skyscrapers, if you're a brand who wants to jump ahead and you want to start to build an immersive retail experience, call us right away because we're really willing and open to put you on our roadmap and our pipeline, and our team will begin mapping out a roadmap for you to build your virtual simulation of your in real life store experience. If you travel a little bit further down past the city, and you'll see a right-hand turn, that's going to bring you to the Optical Metaverse, which is the convention center. Along the way, you will see stores, and if you are a retailer, and this is more related to an optical shop or optometry clinic with an optical, you'll be able to lease our stores and make them so beautiful and so cool and create really cool experiences for your community. Currently, we have one avatar for the Optical Metaverse, but we will be bringing more avatars as we begin developing NFT projects with our community. And what you're seeing currently is a walkthrough of just some of the early adopters who have jumped in with both feet, and we wanted to give you as close to a real life idea of what this was going to look like as possible. So you will see a lot of David Green and Kazoku Lunettes and Optical Near Me, but just know that we have currently only 30 booths that we are making available. Although we have 100, we are stopping at 30, and we have about 5 booths left. So once we get all of the content from the rest of our exhibitors, all of these spaces will be full, and we'll be filling out the atriums and opening up new opportunities as the season unfolds. So again, our season is going to start somewhere around the beginning of July, go through October, and then you'll be able to come in as a shopper and a season pass holder and visit the different booths and really get to know what they have to offer. You'll be able to walk up to the booths. You'll be able to interact with the products. You'll be able to see videos that represent some of the new products or new ideas that they have. And if they are a frame company or an app company or an equipment company, whatever company they may have, you'll be able to interact with their products in ways that will be really cool. There will be a built-in chat feature to our booths. So you'll be able to chat with the exhibitors who are there, and you'll also be able to schedule time in the corresponding AirMe booth, which will be hosted on the My Vision Show platform. So for those of you who have really had a great time meeting some of our amazing vendors this weekend and want to be able to take that experience to the next level in the Optical Metaverse, you'll be able to do that, and then come back to My Vision Show to have that face-to-face meeting with them that we've all come to love. You might have heard us earlier this week mention that we'll be integrating with Planet VA and the Frames Library software. So all of our great eyewear brands who are participating with us will be able to add their virtual library to Frames Library and then be integrated with this really, really super cool shopping experience. I'm seeing some of the comments here, and you guys are saying, this is great, this is insane. So glad to have you guys here with me, and I'm going to bring my co-host Arena on with me now. So, again, when we started with My Vision Show, it was right around the time that we were getting requests to add content to the platform that Arena and I met. And I was really happy to have her with me because, she understands when we talk about optometry content, what are optometrists looking for, and what are some of the topics that are more related to eye care and eye health. And as we roll into the optical metaverse world and become this facilitator for our industry, both opticians and optometrists, it's going to be really important that we understand not just the fun aspect of this, but the serious side, which is people are going to be using this whether you provide it for them or not. And they're going to be using their eyes and their brains and their visual function in ways that are just very, very, very new to humanity. And so I'm going to toss it over to Irina, who's been spending a lot of time with me studying this. She's a millennial optometrist, and I would just love to hear from you, Irina. What do you think when you see some of this and you think about both the fun but also the clinical aspects of this?
Well, hello everybody, first of all. And thank you so much for those of us who are joining us live on the My Vision Show platform. And thank you, Charlene, for giving me a chance to, sort of talk about it. I honestly feel extremely, lucky to have met you when I did, to have a chance to, be at the forefront of this, because as, going through optometry school and even after I've graduated, I have noticed that in optometry, we tend to play a fair amount of catch up. We're trying to tell people about the 20-20-20 rule. We're trying to talk about screen hygiene. Screens have been around for about 20 or so years. And we're still working on that. This is the first time that we have a chance to really, get at the forefront of something and really guide its development, not only, ethically, but also clinically for our patients. So I think it's an amazing opportunity for optometrists to, not only get at the front of something, but to also embrace this new technology to help, further your business. Because what we don't necessarily want is for people to come in with problems, after this has been widely adopted, and then to look for solutions.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a really good grasp for those of us who don't really, feel a need to embrace this virtual world, of how many people want to do this. I saw a staggering statistic that 75% of millennials own an NFT. And 6 months ago, I did not even know what an NFT was. And I'm really trying to stay relevant for my industry so I can be that kind of champion for change and for just really kind of being prepared for the future. And still, I missed the whole metaverse thing. I didn't even know about it until I started researching it. And when you start to peel away the layers of this and you see the infrastructure that already exists and that's to come, it's just mind-blowing where technology is going. And I think there's gonna be so many positives and so many things to be proactive about that we can be, just really as prepared as possible.
Absolutely. And, at the end of the day, we can either, be prepared for it and be excited about it and embrace it, or we can be afraid. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I don't know about those people who are watching or my fellow ODs, but I would rather, embrace it and work with it than go cower in a corner somewhere and complain about it.
Well, the good news is when we launch the Optical Metaverse, it's not going to have a bunch of crazy rules and NFTs and all of this. It's going to be very simple. You're going to be able to create an avatar. You're going to be able to explore these exhibits, and you're going to be able to interact with them in ways that are very similar to what you would do at a real trade show. And it's not going to feel super odd to you. It's going to feel pretty comfortable. Just like when you come into my vision show in the beginning, you're a little uncomfortable, but then you kind of find your way around. This is going to be even easier because if you can control your mouse, you can control your avatar, and you won't have to look for a button to find which door to go into. You could just move your avatar in front of the doors that you want to walk into, or walk up to the places that you want to walk up to. So we do feel it's going to be much easier, actually, for some of us who haven't been able to really embrace some of these platforms that have, like AirMeet, so many different little hallways to go down. And it's kind of one of the main reasons we started building this in the first place. But we're here to answer any questions you have. We'll be in the lounge getting ready for a liquid lounge kind of mixer. And if you have any questions, feel free to meet us. Thank you for being here for this moment with us. This is a pretty big moment for us as a business. My vision show is kind of evolving into something much bigger, but it's also big for us as an industry. And we really appreciate you guys for being there with us.
Absolutely. And I just have, one parting remark, and this goes back to something that I had the chance to learn from Dr. Steve Argo the other day during his session. Just because this is the way it's always been done, doesn't mean that the new way isn't better.
And, I think if there's people out there who think, I don't know if I can embrace this, I don't know if I can get comfortable with this, I think that's okay, because you're going to be needed to have an objective set of eyes and come in and say, okay, well, this I'm okay with, but this, not so much. And, us as developers are really more, we built the Optical Metaverse as an existing model to stimulate the senses. You guys are visual creatures, and we had to build this out of our imagination. So you're going to at least have a reference to work with. But then you're going to come up with your own ideas, and we're going to definitely encourage that. So if you saw this presentation and you thought, I have an idea I want to share with you, and I want to see if, this is possible, or, any feedback at all, we really welcome it, and we really appreciate you for being here today. See you soon.